We do this all the time. Boom, boom, boom. Listen to that bass line. Sounds like heavy footsteps.
The Beast.
Yeah, or Victor Crowley. Or perhaps Jason Voorhees.
Oh, yeah, Jason Voorhees.
Dun, dun. So, here we are.
I'm not too chatty today, Andy.
Why not?
I don't know.
Oh, are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling fine. It was just, what do we celebrate? Oh, shit.
His microphone.
God dang it, always does this shit. Hi, everybody.
Maybe because you futz with it a lot.
No, I mean, seriously. And
Welcome. Welcome to SlashU.
it would not be SlashU without fucking Nick breaking shit.
Is it busted?
Yes, again. This is like the second fucking mic stand I've been through.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Is that working, whatever you're doing?
No, it's not.
Oh, man.
It's not.
You scrap the whole thing.
We're going to have to. Let's just. Thank you for tuning in to
Hey,
SlashU. We'll
this has
be
been great.
next week.
We'll be right back.
We'll be with. I'll take.
Hey, here we are.
That's the third mic stand I've broken. So if I've just
love
got
you.
this manual, like static standalone mic. So if I sound and anal beads.
Yep.
So if I trail away, will you let me know?
I will.
But anyway, now I feel chatty. Now the adrenaline's running.
Whew.
Now I am good to
That was a
go.
bit of a heart pump. For those of you who subscribe to Patreon, you're going to get all that I'm just kidding. We don't have a Patreon. Wouldn't that be neat? Behind the scenes, here's what's happening, unedited.
Or like I pose like with this on our OnlyFans, and I pose nude with it.
Pose like you caught a big fish or shot a deer. Like, this is your quarry. I don't know.
Yeah, this seriously. I mean, I can't believe how many I've broken.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's enough about that. Andy, it's good to see you.
It's great to see you.
Episode 151.
151.
This is I feel like this one. I mean, everyone knows what we're doing. But I feel like this one's. I wrote some notes for this one.
I have questions for you about this one, too.
Great. So before we get into it,
Please.
would you rather be famous for making art with your penis, or famous for playing hits from the 80s by farting?
What kind of art?
Whatever you want it to be.
Like I slather it in paint and hit it all over a canvas?
It's you're just making art with your penis. Or
Would I rather be famous for that or farting to the 80s?
no, like you could do like
Wake me up. Yeah, before you go. Some Wham.
yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking Hungry Like the Wolf for some reason. Yeah, some Duran Duran.
I'm gonna go and tell you mine.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be famous for doing penis art
Yeah, I was going to pick that too.
because I feel like you could make more money like Banksy.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that there's a lot
is
of
Nick's
people.
penis.
Yeah.
And the structure and juxtaposition of the colors he uses is amazing.
I think there's a lot of people who
Hip hip
ironically.
hooray for Nick's penis.
Yeah, that should just be the yeah. Hip hip hooray all the time. But I think there's a lot of people ironically probably love the smell of their own farts who would subscribe to that sort of art and be like, this is a very sophisticated artist. He's, making a statement here by using the reds and the blues on his wang.
No, you're
Whatever.
You're
I'm
thinking
thinking putting it in paint and slapping it on a
yeah,
canvas.
anyway, or you can
Yeah.
tape a brush to it.
Yeah,
Or a chalk.
make put clay
Pencil.
around it and take that off and make a sculpture of
I
some
think they already
sort
do that molds.
with molds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I hear Daryl Hall has got the biggest mold. Wink, wink.
of Hall and Oates.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was a girl that went around and she would ask the musician she slept with if she could make a mold of their penises, and a lot of them said sure. Probably because they were under the influence of drugs and alcohol. But
I
still.
thought it was what's his name? Tommy from the drummer.
Daryl Hall's art piece would be
Tommy
a hell of
Lee.
a lot bigger.
Oh, you think so?
I think Daryl Hall's packing.
Sure. Okay.
Hey,
Daryl Hall, if you're out there, /U_podcast at Instagram, email us. If anybody out there knows Daryl Hall's genitalia
anybody,
size.
if you could get us, the professors here,
Yeah.
if you could somehow get us a photo of Daryl Hall's penis, we would appreciate it.
That'd be great.
Does anybody listen to us? I swear to God.
There's a few. It's one or two.
I mean, when they do,
There's a few.
tune us off now. They're supposed to be talking about horror movies. They're talking about fucking Daryl Hall's penis.
Yep.
Anyway, Andy, I want to get right to it.
Rockstar you.
2009, 1 hour 37 minutes.
Friday the 13th again.
Yes, but Andy, let's get right to it. This is not a remake.
No.
It's curious to even why they would lead the audience to think that it would be a remake. In my opinion, it would be Friday the 13th, Part 11. Jason looks at great boobs.
That'd be a good subtitle. Yeah, directed by Marcus Nispel. My question to you.
Great.
You're a Friday the 13th connoisseur, so to speak. Is this one the first one that goes all the way through to number 10, like
No.
Jason X?
No. Have you ever seen
No, I haven't. So
You saw the first one?
I saw 1980 first
Yeah.
one, and so there's a 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way to 10 that build off of that one.
Yes.
So this one doesn't have any sequels.
No, this is Jason Part 11.
Oh, it is.
This would be perfectly fit after Jason fucking runs amok in space.
It'd be like a time loop. He comes back around and
Well, yeah.
it's 2009.
Yeah, I mean, because if he's in space, they have time machines and shit.
Okay.
So this is exactly it. They tell a little backstory of Mama,
Yeah.
and then they just go right into it.
Okay.
It really could be because what they do show in this is that in 1980, when Jason is a little boy, we said that he was like 74, our parents' age. That wouldn't be true. I guess he stayed a little boy down there.
Under the water.
Under the water, like
Oh my
I guess.
God.
I
There's
guess.
a lot to unpack.
I guess the water is made of fetus juices. So, but hear me out.
It's
Science,
like a
science is-
formaldehyde type thing.
yeah, because when he jumps out of the water in 80, he's a little boy.
Exactly. And he's been dead for 30 years
1957.
at that point.
1958.
Okay, so 22,
57, whatever.
yeah, whatever. But okay, so so if I go back and watch Friday the 13th Part 2,
Yep.
what's that made? 84?
Yeah, it's kind of neat. It's kind of like an Adam Green style.
Uh-huh.
I forget her fucking name. She wakes
Alice.
up. Alice, yeah, I was right. She wakes up in the fucking hospital.
Hospital, yeah. Okay. The final girl from the first one.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I
this
would
one-
like to watch them
That's
all.
when you were talking to me about
The canon.
Cooter. Oh, canon. Yeah.
Yeah. What is this? Where does this fit in the canon? Was my question to you, and you went canon, and I said you're a writer, right?
No idea.
It's okay. It's it's a nerd term. Like the Star Wars novels are no longer part of canon. Now the movies are all canon and the TV shows. So that was what I was getting at. But I didn't know the whole Friday the 13th lore canon, whatever you will call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's. Do I look okay on camera? Am I good look?
You look great.
Back to the movie. So there is, like it's just there's gonna be some questions going right out. I do not believe that this is a remake at all.
Okay.
So I think we should just go ahead and get into it because I have notes. So no notes.
Notes.
Now, wow. Notes. Brought to you by Pottery. If you want to make something sweet for your partner, or you're just looking for a new hobbery. If you're working, if you're
It works. It's a rhyme to pottery. Hobbery.
If you're looking for a new hobbery, go check out some pottery.
That's the
All right,
jingle.
let's get into Andy's Cliff Kill notes.
Great. Well, the Cliff Kill notes are a brief summary of the movie, so you can follow along with us. Hopefully, many of you have seen Friday the 13th from 2009. It's about a group of teens out on a camping trip find themselves near the old remains of Camp Crystal Lake. It's an old summer camp that was shut down years ago after a woman named Mrs. Voorhees went on a killing spree out of grief for the loss of her son Jason. She was decapitated by the last surviving camp counselor. But Jason wasn't dead.
Nope.
He actually witnessed his mother's murder, and he still lurks among the ruins of Camp Crystal Lake, ready to release his anger on anyone who ventures too closely.
That was good.
That's it. That's the setup. Yeah, that's how this movie goes.
That was really good. Before we get into it,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hate on it.
This movie?
I don't like the idea of saying that it's Friday the 13th. I mean, I think they could have eloquently stated it that it's not a remake. I
Right.
believe people thought. I mean, it makes sense.
It's like a
that it would be.
spiritual sequel, if you want to call it that.
It is part 11.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
exactly what it is.
Okay.
So it really starts off like it starts off in a black and white, and what
Yep.
it does, it starts just kind of how Jason became to be, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
It's Alice, actress playing like Alice. Again, the final scene of the 1980.
It'd be neat if they used that footage somehow from the 1980 movie.
They've done that in in the Friday the 13th that
the
we'll
other
see.
ones. Mhm.
Yeah. I think Jody and I, Jody and I watched them all in a row like last year.
Yeah.
And just to revisit them.
I want to do that with Fast and Furious.
I want to do that with Halloween.
Oh.
I want to get, because I don't really, I know we do a horror podcast, but I'm not Michael Myers.
Yeah.
I'm not a cinephile when it comes to
Michael Myers.
Old, custodial service.
Old jumpsuit.
Wardrobe boy.
Yeah.
But anyway, we all know the story. It's the last scene, and it's kind of remade from the original. But what they do is they introduce a locket, and they introduce Jason actually picking up a machete.
Yeah, so you're right. Alice is screaming and running through away from somebody, and it's Mrs. Voorhees talking about how Alice needs to be punished for letting Jason drown and all that stuff that we covered last week, frankly. Yep. Stuff that's at the end of the 1980 movie. And Alice cuts off her head and runs away. It's revealed that Jason's alive. A tiny child's hand picks up Mom's locket, which wasn't in that first movie. Nope. We hear Mom's voice saying, "Jason, my special, special boy. They must be punished, Jason. Kill for mother."
And I'll pick up a machete, and then it's like we're going to get to present day. See, there's more of a backstory. It's, again, we brought this up. I know I bring it up a lot on this podcast. The Rob Zombie backstory made more sense in Halloween. Yeah. I feel like if you really wanted to tackle this, you could. I mean, the backstory is there, but I want to know, I want to see little Jason as a camper. I want to see his little punk ass.
In the camp.
In the camp.
Learning how to tie knots, learning how to bow and arrow.
My guess is, though, that he's special needs and that maybe he got bullied and shit like that. Like, there could be a good, postquel. What is it?
Prequel. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Postquel. Postquels are called sequels. We've been over this.
Yes, that's right.
Present day.
Cut to present day.
Yes.
Some campers are enjoying that woodsy environment. There are many reasons why they should be out there enjoying Mother Nature, fresh air, but Andy, they're out there looking for weed, so you know they're liberals.
They've got a line on a secret, I guess, weed growing operation.
Yep.
This is Wade, the nerd, the stereotype nerd in this group. He knows somebody who tipped him off to the location of a massive grow operation.
Yeah.
So, under the guise of camping trip, Wade and his friend Richie have said, "Let's get out there. We'll take the girls, and Mike, and we'll go camping, and we'll go find this weed over here."
Yeah.
And that was kind of what they wanted to do. This is Richie, who's with his girlfriend Amanda, and Whitney, who's with her boyfriend Mike.
Whitney's the only one that's important.
Yeah, Whitney's the only one, and Wade is the nerd.
Wade is the nerd,
fifth wheel, if you will.
As they're kind of searching for this weed camp, they decide just to set up their tents where they are because it's getting late.
Oh, there's a clearing right here.
Yeah.
How convenient.
They can continue looking for the weed tomorrow.
It's almost like it was an archery range or something. Let's just set up here.
Maybe it was.
Maybe it was.
That's good.
Yeah. They crack open some PBRs. All right.
Yes.
Milwaukee's own.
They realize that they're next to the old camp, though, as they're sitting around the campfire, Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, Wade tells the story of Jason and his mom and everything that we already know.
Yes, stories around the fire, always classic in the slasher horror genre.
So was his mom just crazy and she thought he was dead? Like, was Mrs. Voorhees just nuts? And she's like, my son's dead because of you. But he wasn't actually dead.
Well, he was.
Or he was just
drowned.
Yeah, but he was like a formaldehyde in a jar, not actually dead.
Fetal juices.
Fetal juices. Fetal juice.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
And then a baby, Jason comes back when you say it 3 times.
Fetal juice.
Good band name again. We are Fetal Juice. Playing at Planned Parenthood across America. What was I saying? Oh, so was Jason actually dead and he just came back to life in the lake?
He was a child when he drowned it.
Yeah, so he drowned.
Yeah, he drowned, and that Crystal Lake.
Yeah, is magic.
Indian ground. It's real. It's mentioned in the first one that it's buried. It's on an Indian burial ground.
He's like Victor Crowley,
and so it's more of a maternal land where those waters could hold fetal juices.
You keep coming back to fetal juices.
Why do you always come back to fetal juices, Nick?
So
I don't know how we're gonna.
Maybe she wasn't nuts.
I don't think she was. I think she just lost it because
she thought he was really drowned, and then he came back, and he's actually back alive.
Yeah. So
great.
I mean, it's that's a whole other podcast.
I know.
We're gonna get into the story.
So Wade reveals there's a glitch in his GPS calculations. They're actually very close to where the weed should be. He's around the fire, and this is after Whitney and Mike went off alone. Wade is there as the third wheel with Amanda and Richie, and while Wade's talking to Richie, Amanda's in the background behind him, opening her shirt, like, you know, come on, let's go.
She noticed she borrowed some baby oil from P. Diddy. Started rubbing up all over those boobies.
Yeah.
If someone's listening to this in 10 years, they'll be like, what's the P. Diddy baby oil reference?
What's that reference?
But she is rubbing her boobies with baby oils.
If somebody's listening to this in 10 years and it's like P. Diddy died in prison mysteriously or something, you know?
He's alive at the recording of this podcast.
Yeah, I've heard all kinds of memes and stuff like, oh, they put him in Epstein's cell, you know, and stuff like that. So, man, that guy, what a fall from grace. Anyway,
Yes.
if he ever was at grace,
Yeah, there you
what
go.
a fall. But Richie basically is like, Wade, take a fucking hike, man. I got to get it on over there, you know. So that's what happened.
Yeah,
Wade takes the hint.
Yeah, Wade, so he jets. He decides to go look for the weed. And guess what, Andy? He finds it. Nice sticky buds. Isn't it weird how people discover stuff in the woods at night, either when they're pissing or masturbating? Like, things happen at night.
Yeah.
So if you need, you know, like let's say this. Like, let's say you're lost in the woods. At night, either masturbate or take a piss and something will happen.
Yeah, I suppose. Maybe a genie will pop out and grant you 3 wishes.
Well, I mean, he's pissing on the weed, and and all of a sudden magically appears.
There it is.
Yeah, there's the weed, and
Question for you.
Go ahead.
Who planted this?
the farmer.
And how do they take care of it with Jason in the area? Because we know Wade is going to die.
I'm going to go ahead and bring this up now. I had it later in my notes.
Please.
Okay, this Jason is definitely more different than the other Jasons in the past.
All right.
This Jason is more of, like, he's smart. He's calculated. He sets up traps. I feel like he's more of a survivalist. Kind of one of those things, like, what are those animals? Like, hey, don't fuck with me. I won't fuck with you.
Okay.
Like, you leave me alone, I'm not going to fuck with you. But it seems like some people start cromping around on this old, you know, campground, which obviously the weeds around and stuff like that. I kind of think, like, he's just kind of like...
Jason's a libertarian.
Yes. Yes. He's got a
Don't tread on me.
him.
Yep.
So-
And you tread on me, I am within my rights to cut off your balls.
Yes. I cut off your ear.
And everything.
Yes. So that's I just feel like he's different. He's more he's focused. Like,
So
this
he's-
is the most focused. I mean, there's going to be instances throughout the movie as we talk about this that I'm going to bring up, like, hey, this is what I mean. Like, normal Jason will do this.
He got smart going to space.
That's what he got.
For the last 10 movies,
He
he got smart.
Or fetal juices. Could be those fetal juices.
I can't with the fetal juice. So.
But either way, so that's what I just kind of want to say. So, like, but he's, you know,
Wade's peeing,
and enjoying
listening
the
to
grass.
Motoran.
But guess who else? Guess who else like weed? Guess who else smokes?
Jason.
There you go.
Yeah, he's on Wade in an instant,
Yep.
and Wade's dead.
Just a quick kill.
Yeah, nothing to it really.
We go back to Mike and Whitney, and they're kind of walking around the old Camp Crystal Lake.
They
grounds.
find it. Yeah, they find it. The sign, big old welcome to Camp Crystal Lake.
They say there's Easter eggs in here, a couple that I found, but I thought it would be cool if they really went nuts. Mm-hmm. Like the Monopoly board, or like maybe, you know, 'cause you remember they're playing Naked Monopoly, like if there was like a Monopoly bill laying there,
or the yellow sign, like the iconic yellow sign would have been a cool Easter egg.
like hanging, like you know, just. But you know, that said, you know, they're just looking around. They're kind of picking things up and taking a look. Mike finds the Lockie with the female in it, and for a foreshadowing moment, he looks at the female in the Lockie and goes, "Hey, Whitney, it looks like you."
Looks a lot like her. Foreshadowing.
We haven't done that in a while.
No, we haven't. Because there hasn't been any really good obvious foreshadowing that we pointed out. Or we did a bad job of pointing it out. But yeah, they snoop around, find that locket. It looks like Whitney. There's all kinds of other junk and a bed that says Jason on the headboard.
I kind of
Meanwhile, Richie and Amanda are having some sex.
they're left alone in the tent, and
She hears something.
and of course,
She's like, is that Wade spying on us? Richie? Go check it out.
She won't continue until he verifies, you know, like, that it's Wade out
He's
there.
like, I'm not going out there with a boner. She goes, you ain't getting any until you go find out.
Yeah, so he has to get out of the tent and go look for him, which I think is kind of weird. It's like, you know, I'm gonna go search around, like if I thought it was you, go, Andy, where are you? Like, am I searching for you? If I'm just telling you to knock it the fuck off, like.
She insists
I
you
would walk
find him.
around the tent. Yeah, I guess that's
She
a
insists
good call.
you go find him and you make sure it's not him spying on us like a perv.
That leaves Amanda alone in the tent.
She's all alone, just hearing things rustling in the bushes and stuff. Richie ends up finding the weed out in the woods, and then he sees Wade's ear hanging from, his earbuds still in it, back when people wore earbuds that had wires on them. Hanging from like one of the weed plants, and it was like, holy shit, we find Wade's dead body, sans ear. Yeah. Dead.
Like fucking gutted against a tree. So this gives...
we cut back to Amanda real fast.
And she's all of a sudden just like, she's in the tent, but this massive figure, like Kane Hodder, but this other guy who played the Jason, Derek Mears.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
Big dude. So he like gets up behind the tent, grabs Amanda, pulls her out. Meanwhile, Richie is running back because, he just found his dead body. And when he gets there, he sees Amanda tied up in her sleeping bag over the fire.
Cooking.
He's cooking. He's trying to go save her, but he gets his foot in stuck in a bear trap.
Yeah.
And this is Amanda burning alive while in a sleeping bag while Richie watches, helpless. The sleeping bag finally burns a hole in it, and a burnt crisp Amanda falls through the sleeping bag, and that is my
dick kill.
Dick shot of the week. Dick shot of the week.
Let me tell you why, Andy.
Please.
Part 7. Jason Newblood, another great sleeping bag kill.
You've told me about that one. Yeah.
So
doesn't he
that's
like bash her against a tree?
Yeah, he picks that just shows the side,
his power.
So I just thought how horrible, it was a not all that. It would just been a horrible death.
Oh, it would have been the worst.
So that is why I picked that one. So
plus Richie's there on the ground with his leg trapped, watching this happen.
You know? I mean, it's how tragic
agony.
is that?
So, can't get free. He almost tears his leg off.
Trying to. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a good dude. So, but we're back with Whitney and Mike. Are they in a bathroom?
I don't know. They're just looking around the various buildings at Camp Crystal Lake. They find
It looks like to me a bathroom where a
because
mirror
there's
should
tubs.
be.
And they find a hole in the wall with all kinds of candles around. Mike is like, somebody's obviously been here. What's that in the hole in the wall? It looks like hair. What is it? Is it some kind of doll? And he reaches in and grabs it. It's totally Jason's mom's head.
Yes, it's the decapitated head of
Jason clearly picked it up and put it in the wall here with some sort of
perfect place for it.
Shrine and candles.
Yes.
Yeah.
To keep his mom's spirit alive.
Yeah, that would obviously freak everybody out. And they hear something outside the door. And as Mike sort of bends down to look under the door, a machete pops up from underneath the floor, right in front of his face, freaking out.
It is just like a stab scene.
They scramble. They're trying to get to higher ground.
Yeah, Whitney's kind of above it, but poor Mikey is not. So he gets stabbed a
couple of times.
Yeah, he gets stabbed in the hand, the foot, the leg, and just finally, Jason pulls him below.
Just punches a hole through the floor and pulls him down below.
This is where you know that there's tunnels below Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Again, which I think is kind of cool.
Oh, for sure. Whitney takes off running. Jason ends up chasing her. So
yeah, and remember, she's running. Jason Voorhees is supernatural, so he can appear anytime without the woods, no matter how fast you run. Mm-hmm. He can show up. So
which is something that's carried forward in many other slasher
very
movies.
Much so.
They can just be over here and now they're over here.
Yeah, you'll be running and they can just
teleport,
walk.
Well, and that was covered in Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. He's going to keep his cardio up because he needs to walk chase and be faster than everyone.
Walk chase. She makes her way back to camp to discover that Richie is still alive, trapped in the bear trap, but the smoking dead body of Amanda still lies next to the fire.
Yeah. As Whitney goes over to Jason to try to help him open the bear trap, or goes over to Richie. Sorry, Jason comes running up behind him and just machetes Richie right in the head. Thunk, stuck in his skull.
I know, all the way down to the top of the nose.
I mean, that's hard to do.
Yeah,
shows a lot of strength.
It's you remember that Mythbusters or like Slashbusters? I would love to try some of this stuff out.
So cool.
Whitney
obviously
looks like she's grabbed too, though. But
she starts backing away, crab crawling backwards away as Jason swings, and we cut to black.
Friday the 13th.
That's the title card. Yay.
And we're 6 weeks later, Andy.
Yeah. It was we have a new crop
A new crop, 7.
So that, because I remember watching this, it was my first time seeing this. I was like, Jesus, they're all dropping pretty fast here, and we're only like 19 minutes into the movie. And then I realized, okay, they're all fodder for the killer.
This exact. Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they were fodder for the killer at the beginning of the movie. Sorry, I had to type something.
I was thinking this too. It's kind of rad.
Yeah.
You have to think that this movie is like all of this. We're already like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, close to 30 minutes in. So we really only have like an hour
left. So it's going to move quick, but
so yeah, this is
it's a new group.
A new group, 7 college kids, a diverse group. We have an African American, an Asian,
Lawrence, Chewy,
3 women,
Chelsea, Jenna Bree,
and
the white dudes,
Trent
and Lawrence. Nolan.
Nolan's the guy from, I always remember, from Party Town, the surfer looking guy.
Okay.
There's a motorcycle out front, and the owner of that bike is
Clay,
and he's talking to the clerk in the old general store where they pulled over,
right,
looking for his sister
Whitney. He's got some flyers, and he's like, my sister went missing about a month ago. Would you mind if I hang up these flyers? Which the clerk is explaining, no, you can't. The owner is, kind of a dick about those sorts of things.
Yeah, this is kind of the...
Clay, by the way, played by Jared Padalecki of Supernatural fame.
There's a lot of young...
Your wife, big fan of him?
Yes. There is a lot of young talent in this.
For sure. Allison, or what's her name?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Is Willa Ford.
Amanda Rigetti is Whitney. Danielle Panabaker plays Jenna. She was in the series The Flash on the CW, among other things.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Like, these are, at that moment in 2009, these were the it kids.
The it kids.
So as Clay is asking the cashier, Trent, the leader of the group, I would say, I mean, they're all there for Trent. He's kind of getting impatient. He's like, dude, come on, hurry up, let's go.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Is Jenna his girlfriend?
I think he likes Jenna. I think he invited Jenna along to try to put the moves on her.
Okay,
I think he's interested in Jenna, but she's not committed to Trent.
Okay, because that confused me. I had them first watch going that they're together, but then in the second watch, I kind of started going, wait, what's this relationship?
Right.
So,
it's my opinion, and everyone can correct me if they wish, that
what's opinion?
Jenna and Trent are not exactly together, but Trent would like them to be.
They could be kind of flirting. So because she does
for sure
flirt back a little bit within the movie, but
yeah.
This is what's interesting is that, as the two dudes kind of square off and, measure cocks, Jenna looks at him and goes, I'm sorry. She's sweet. She's like, I'm sorry for your loss. And he kind of like, says thanks.
Yeah, it's funny. Clay's just like, oh, yeah, I'm the one being the jerk here. Got it. Whatever. Yeah,
you can tell. Yeah. I mean, they're measuring dicks.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely being...
Trent's very insecure about his, apparently, because he just won't back down.
Yes.
Yeah, Trent's a douche.
Very much. They set him up. I mean, I thought he would be one of the first ones, but we'll get to his kills soon. Stay tuned for more here, SlashU Podcast.
That gang loads up and leaves, and as they drive away, you see that Clay actually put a flyer on the back of their car.
They're taking off to Trent's family's cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, right next to, right on Crystal Lake.
Right. Very coincidentally.
And then we cut to Clay, who's on his motorcycle, and it's just a quick, if I can just do this quickly, the cop pulls him over and says, God damn it, boy.
Yeah.
We've done everything we could for that damn sister of yours. Go look somewhere else. So obviously he's been in the area looking for his sister.
Right. There's no car, no witnesses. They must have run off. Clay does explain how their mom recently died of cancer. Whitney had taken care of her, and she didn't show up for the funeral. So that's Clay's line of thinking, like, yes, she didn't just run away.
Yeah,
she would have.
Yeah, she would have definitely taken care of Meemaw.
So, it's cool.
It's Willa Ford. Chelsea doesn't Willa Ford
plays Chelsea.
Yeah, she was a singer. Mm-hmm. Had a hit in 2001, and it was called "I Want to Be Bad."
Okay.
And
are you gonna play it, or why are you bringing this up right now? Ooh, it's definitely not auto-tuned at all.
So that was Willa Ford, and so this was kind of like, I thought it was kind of neat that she was in this movie, and she was very comfortable going topless.
Mm-hmm.
So within the movie, but her and Lawrence just have a quick, it's setting up that there's no signal service out here, which you have to do in movies with cell phones.
Yeah, they get to the cabin, there's no cell signal. So there's a lot of this that I kind of skipped because it's like they're unpacking, they're looking around. They brought bongs, so they're gonna get high. Blah blah blah.
That's good. Very good. That's it. They're just setting up the party. Chewy's the stoner, and so is Lawrence.
We go back to Clay, who stops now at an old lady's house. Do you think, Nick, that this old lady might be Alice from the end of the first movie? And she's been living there since the 80s? And she's just like, has a big old vicious dog to protect her?
No, because
Alice probably left the area.
This is 2009, and this is 80, so she would have been born in 62. She looks bad for her if that would have been. She
went through a lot of stress.
45 years old.
She went through a lot of stress in her life.
45, yeah.
All right, skip it. So... I'll cut that out.
She could wait, Andy. Could have been the diner, the waitress at the diner where Steve was getting his coffee when she was like, "You could take me on the date."
Maybe.
Yeah, well, there you go. That makes more sense.
It's just filler here because Clay just knocks on the door. There's a vicious German Shepherd. He's like, "Did you see my sister?" And he's like, "She says a lot of people go missing around here."
He gets them.
Yeah, he gets them. We just want to be left alone, and so does he.
And so does he. There you go. Thank you.
So she's gone missing. She's definitely dead. She goes back inside and shuts the door, and Clay's like, "All right, fine, whatever."
Yeah, so. I mean, this is just kind of the second watch. I mean, you can kind of push through a lot because we cut back to the college kids.
Yeah,
I think they're college kids because they're playing all kinds of drinking games, like spring break shenanigans up in that cabin.
Trent's not having it.
No, he's kind of like,
this is an outdoor game, you know. Yeah. Keep this place clean.
It's his family's cabin, you know. He wants to make sure it's good, you know, and so. Jenna, our Gerd girl, is sitting outside enjoying the view over the lake, and she wants to go on a hike. And this is where I think they're kind of flirting.
Yeah.
You know, like they're...
He's like, I can't leave them alone.
Yeah, but he's kind
of... But we could do something else.
Yeah, we could, like...
Yeah, something else active. And she's all like...
Could you hit pause?
You want to take care of the dog. Okay, so...
Sorry about that. This is the second time we've had a cut on one podcast.
It's wild. So
that's episode 151 for you.
Woo, here we go, season 9.
So anyway,
he hits on Jenna.
Yeah, and he wants to, but he can't leave the house.
This is where I got the impression too that he would like them to be together, but they're not officially together.
I think that's what I think I'm going to go with as well. That's a good stop.
Yeah.
So, Clay is still on his journey, and his next stop is a backwoods degenerate who's chipping wood and just doing what backwoods degenerates do.
It's one of those great movie tropes. This gentleman's running a wood chipper, and Clay's like, "Hello, sir, hello." Eventually, scares the guy. Yeah. But there's a working wood chipper in this movie.
Yes.
That's gonna come into play later.
Yeah, the barn from Friday the 13th could be a little Easter egg as well.
Yeah. So, that guy's just like, "No, I ain't seen her. Whatever."
But
do you want to buy some weed?
Do you want to buy some weed? That's when I
found a whole bunch of shitload in the woods.
He said he found it. I thought he said he grew it.
Oh, I thought he said he found it.
I thought he was the one that grew it.
Either way.
Yeah, either way. I'm assuming that he's like, "Do you want to buy some weed?" Because I think he's kind of like, that's his land. It's next to him. So, let's cut back to our college kids. And Trent is being anal about cleaning up his house while Nolan, our surfer kind of guy, you know, with the blonde hair.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. I want to take Chelsea and go check out the southern side of the lake. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Cool, you can take my truck, but don't drive my boat."
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Drive my boat.
So Chelsea and Nolan hit the road, and it's funny because Nolan's just like, what does it say about me? As soon as Trent said, "Don't drive my boat," it's exactly what I knew I was going to do. Chelsea's just like, "You're a sociopath."
Yeah, so what
does it say about me that I think it's hot?
Yeah.
So
that means
says they're a match made in heaven.
Yeah,
so that's
Nolan and Chelsea could be touching boobs. Guess what, Andy? Clay finally makes his way to Trent's cabin.
Well, yeah, he's just been randomly knocking on doors around the area, and he knocks on this door, and Jenna opens up the door, and he's just like, I'm looking for, it's you, you know, and he's like, I'm still passing out flyers, and Jenna's like, why don't you come on in?
Yeah.
But what about your boyfriend? Don't worry about him.
Yeah, but she knew.
She knew.
Because, I mean,
Trent's
she knew there was going to be tensions, but she's she's into that. Maybe she likes to...
She likes to stir up drama?
Yeah.
She doesn't seem like that kind of girl, but she might be.
Tensions do get riled up.
Yeah, I mean, like, Trent, for no reason, is just like, it's a private party, man. You can't stay. We don't know you. And Clay's just like, you're right, you don't know me. Trent, of course, is like, yeah, it's just what I said 2 seconds ago. We don't know you. Like, get away. You know? It's
true.
Clay does nothing to diffuse. Clay's just like, or what? You know, and Trent's like, well, you know, might have to kick your ass or
Well,
something.
no, if he's on his property, he has every right to shoot him.
He sure does. And
Yeah.
Clay could have just said, like, you know what? You're right. Goodbye. But instead, he kind of pushes, like, what happens if I don't leave?
Yeah,
You know?
my cock is
Yeah.
12 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Trent's like,
But that's just what. This is what's weird though, is that Jenna's like, "Here, I'll walk you out," and then she's like, "Hey, I'll just go with you."
yeah. He's like, I'm headed to the other side of the lake to look more. And she goes, do you want company?
Yeah. So this is like the first watch. I'm like, wait, that would be weird. So this to me is, again, I'm going to go back to your prophecy that they are not together. There's potential where maybe Jenna and Trent could get together, but it's not that big of a deal that she left and went on and hit the road with Clay.
Maybe she's just kind of turned off by Trent's douchiness. And she likes Clay's wholesomeness.
They're
and-
both dreamy dudes.
They
They're
are.
both good looking men.
Yeah. But Clay is sensitive because he's looking for his lost sister.
And he's got bobbed hair,
Yeah.
And a
And a
12-inch
motorcycle.
12-inch penis.
That's very important. So, back to the wood chipper guy.
Yeah, the backwoods hick.
All by himself with his big bag of weed.
Big bag of weed, a bushel on his back, Andy.
There's not much to this. He lights up, talks to himself a little bit, and then hears a noise
Yeah,
upstairs.
he's looking. But what's creepy is he's looking inside a Hustler and he licks the pages and goes, "You like that, you bitch." I mean, I would,
You find that creepy?
yes.
You, a person who would probably do that?
No, I would lick the boob and say, "Thank you, my dear." I wouldn't call her a bitch.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
No,
You don't-
I would
yeah.
lick the paper and go, "That's lovely, thank you."
You'd smell it.
So you're right, but anyway, he does walk up in the barn because he hears something,
Yeah.
and a mannequin is covered.
Yeah, and he just walks up and uncovers it, and then he's like, "Oh, it's you." And he talks about
What,
fucking
you know,
the
it's her?
mannequin.
Yeah, he lost his virginity to her. That's not scientifically possible.
No, it's
I want to
not.
bring up science real quick.
Okay.
You can't, like, to lose your virginity, like masturbation is for you wouldn't lose your virginity. You're losing your virginity is, I guess, getting with some other person.
Intercourse with another human.
Yeah, some kind of like, would oral sex be losing your virginity?
Don't know. That's up for debate, but yeah.
But anyway, science says, and I know I'm a liberal, but science
Science says.
I think that you couldn't lose your virginity to a mannequin.
I
There,
don't
I
think
said
you
it.
could
There, I
either.
said it.
Yeah, came out and said, "Fight me,
Fight
change my
me. You
mind."
cannot lose your virginity to a mannequin.
No, but he
no matter
talks
what your
about-
pronouns are.
Like he gets graphic with it. Like, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you.
Yeah.
It's a mannequin,
It's a
bro.
mannequin, and it's just
So-
like top mannequin. So anyway,
Suddenly, Jason's there
there
behind
you go.
him.
Yeah, there you go. Take it.
And Jason, up till this point, we haven't mentioned it, just has like mummy wrappings around his head.
like a burlap mask.
yeah, like
I
a
thought.
burlap.
Burlap
yeah,
sack.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a good call.
That's
Thank
it. He doesn't have his signature hockey
you.
mask.
Does not have it. It's just a burlap sack. Thank you.
He just runs up on this guy and slashes the guy's throat
Yeah.
with his machete.
But a little fight ensues because that burlap sack mask or whatever does come
Gets
off.
pulled off. We see Jason's face.
Yes.
Very briefly. It's pretty messed up because
Yeah.
the guy's like, "What the fuck? That ain't right," And
I fuck mannequins and that ain't right.
yeah, I fuck mannequins, and I'm put off by your face. So, you're right.
Sorry, that got me.
Really put it in perspective. So, which means Jason must really be messed up in the face. But
Oh shit.
after he kills the guy, Jason goes to put the wrap mask back on and sees a hockey mask on the ground. And he picks up and almost is like, this is a better option.
That was cool.
Puts on the hockey mask and goes and looks in the mirror. And I can nerd out for a minute. It was a lot like the first shots of Darth Vader from episode 3 when Darth Vader became Darth Vader. You're like, this is Jason becoming iconic Jason.
Yeah. How many gigabytes is your computer?
I don't, not enough. Why? Why are you asking me?
I think some of you'd ask a nerd.
Oh, thanks. You non-nerd. All right, whatever.
No, but I get it. It is cool.
If this is part 11, how come he's just getting his mask? So anyway,
Ooh.
yeah. So we go back to Nolan and Chelsea. They're just
finds it.
it's a real quick Nolan. It's a setup because Nolan and Chelsea are carrying gas cans to the boat, and he's just like, she's like, "You sure we should take it out?" And he's like, "Come on, this is your problem. You're a scared little girl." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll show you."
Yeah, she
And
runs
that was
out
that.
to the
So,
boat. And
Jenna and Clay
then, there you go.
talking about his sister. a little
Yeah,
bit.
they're walking the path. They're just getting to know each other, talking about his sister. Just kind of moving across this. Just shows that they're still connected, still talking. He finds Wade's old GPS.
Ooh, it's busted.
Yeah, and so
Might be a clue.
Yeah, clue. Is that a clue? I just want a clue all over you. So now we're back on the lake, and Chelsea is wakeboarding.
She's like, okay, let's go.
Willa Ford is wakeboarding without a top on.
No top on. Because
Bubes.
Nolan hits the gas, and as she gets up on the wakeboard on the water, he realizes she doesn't have a top on.
Did she take it off on purpose, or do you think it fell off?
She took it off on purpose to show that she's not a scared little girl.
Okay, consensual. All right.
Yeah, it's to show that she's...
I didn't know if the lake was being too...
No, I think the lake. He blamed the lake for taking off her top.
Yeah.
I'll see you in court, Lake, with your fetal juices. So it's just like come on, bit of a stretch. So I think it was her saying like, "I'll show you, I'm a free spirit," and in solidarity with that free spirit, Nolan whips off his shirt.
Yeah, big
and
deal.
He's just like, "Woo, yeah!"
So it's fun. Boobs, boats, and wakeboarding. It's great. But cut back to the cabin. More shenanigans.
They're playing
going
beer
on.
pong. Yeah.
Trent is playing with Bree, and this is kind of where I feel like he's like, "Hey, babe," So I think Trent realizes that Jenna's off.
Yeah.
When you're a young male, your hormones are. When a man loves a woman, Andy,
Mm-hmm.
so he's probably trying to kind of go like, "Hey," so they're having a connection right here. So we're back to topless wakeboarding.
Yeah.
Is this yours?
No.
Okay.
Trent.
It's a good kill.
Right. Chelsea wipes out. She falls in the water. All right.
She's-
As happens when you're wakeboarding
She's
or water
good.
skiing.
Like sponsored by Red Bull. Good.
She's she's doing flips and shit.
Yeah.
But she ends up wiping out. So, all right. So Nolan's like, all right, cool. And he goes to turn around to go pick her up. And all of a sudden, dude,
Yeah.
a fucking arrow
Yeah.
through his head. And he just turns around because obviously it's affecting his brain. And his last moments of his brain firing, he's, what?
I mean, could you? I think that's a
dies.
good way to go, though.
Yeah.
And here's the point again. Jason is a survivalist. Come on, dude. Throughout
He was a camper, man. He did archery.
I know, but throughout all of the other Jason Voorhees, he never was a fucking shot like that.
Okay.
Never. I mean, he was a machete, axe, fucking, chainsaw guy, whatever he could use. But I mean, dude, he shot. A moving
Target.
boat
Yeah.
head. I mean, that's a great shot.
It was awesome. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
And so, but before he died, Nolan was able to turn the boat around, and it's now headed right at Chelsea. And she doesn't realize something's wrong. She's like, "What are you doing? Hey," waving in the water. She barely gets out of the way enough, but the boat still knocks her in
Knocks her on the head, yeah.
enough to draw blood, and she's dazed, floating in the water. And as she recovers, she sees Jason on the shore,
Yeah, creepy. That would be creepy as fuck.
putting down his bow.
Yep.
And taking out his machete, and she's screaming, of course, "What do you want? What do you want from me?" And she swims away.
I would have, but it seems like she swims in the same direction as him. I would have doggy paddled up and just watched him.
I would have tried to swim across the lake.
Yeah, I would have gone underwater and just popped my head up, just going like this.
Yeah, I would have gone underwater and come up under a dock later. Yeah. Oh wait, that's what she did.
Yes, that's
but
what she does.
She swims away. We go back. Jenna and Clay. They find Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah,
oh my God,
they're
here
making
it
their
is.
way into the dilapidated camp.
So Chelsea comes up
There you go.
for air underneath a dock.
Good shot.
It's really cool. And now Jason is stalking her, and he's walking above on the dock, kind of looking around for her, and she's trying to make no noise.
Yeah.
And it's just funny how the camera is up through the cracks in the dock.
That's a good
You
shot.
can see Jason. And as she sits there in the water, all of a sudden the machete just stabs through right in the top of her head.
She goes,
and
she, like,
pulls her up.
Yeah.
And you see her pubes, conks her head against the top of the dock. He pulls the machete free, and she drops down under the water dead.
She is bad. She is no longer bad.
Quick kill.
Willa Ford, quick kill, is dead. I thought, though, but I really did like that Nolan kill. It
Yeah,
just
the
surprised
arrow.
me. Yeah, that one.
Well,
was-
because it's so sudden.
that was my honorable mention.
Very sudden. And the Chelsea kill is very sudden, too.
Yeah.
Because you think at least maybe the machete would come down once or twice, missing her.
Which they did, like what they did Mikey.
Yeah.
Like Mikey, clink, 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 like you couldn't get her,
But
he,
it's the first right
yeah,
through.
he got a good look on her. But hey, now though, Andy, it is nighttime.
Night has fallen.
Night has fallen. And Jenna and Clay are still looking through the cabins, not for a place to have sex, Andy, because they are too committed to trying to find his sister.
Right. They're just checking out.
It's just a bunch of looking around.
Check out this last one. But then they hear somebody coming,
Yeah.
and they run and hide.
I love this.
It's Jason.
Yeah.
It's the one time I think I've ever seen someone get the drop on the killer. You know what I mean? He doesn't know they're there, and they're
right
seeing
away.
him.
Yeah, what body is he carrying? It looks like it's decapitated.
Maybe it's Chelsea's?
I tried to look it up because it was bothering me. First
Could
watch
be.
and second watch.
Maybe it's Nolan's.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
just he's carrying a body.
Because that boat just kept running until it hit the shore.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't. Camp Crystal Lake doesn't look that big.
It's not big.
Camp Crystal Pond.
Yeah.
Camp Crystal Puddle.
That's why I think Chelsea could have swam across if she really
Yeah.
tried.
But he does, with that body, he does discover Clay's backpack, getting suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
He's very suspicious.
He turns on all the lights. How does this place still have power? He turns on all the lights.
Fetal juices.
The fetal juice is giving the place power. Who was paying the electric bill all these years? And then he rips a bunch of canoes off the racks looking for somebody hiding.
This is where I'm saying, like, he's smart. He's more human than the Jasons of yore. Like, he is, like, I mean, to me, it's kind of a telling story of how this director / writer / whatever wanted to portray this Jason. And I'm kind of a fan.
I do think it's cool that they have him yank all those canoes off the rack like they're nothing.
Yeah, like
canoes are heavy, metal canoes.
Yeah, he's
just whipping them,
off like one-handed. You know.
So they probably did that to illustrate that this motherfucker's strong.
Yes,
right.
I mean, exactly.
So he just gives up. He takes the backpack. He puts the dead body over his shoulder and stomps away. And Clay wants to follow him.
Yeah.
But Jenna's like, no, we got to go warn my friends.
We have to run back to the cabin. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is what I thought was cool too. As they're running, she trips over some bells, and those bells, the wire,
Yeah.
but those wires are connected to the tunnels of Camp Voorhees.
Underneath, and there's a bell that rings.
Ring, ding, ding, ding. So that again lets Jason know that people don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you.
Yeah.
So if you're ever walking in the woods and you hit a wire, run.
Yeah, it could be a trip mine.
Yeah.
But you're right. If Jason had been in the tunnels at that point, he would have been like, somebody's over there.
Yeah, he would have heard it. It's probably, I mean, so he knows that people around his camp.
And he would have seen which wire it was too, and he would have known where they were at.
God,
and he
this is
probably
awesome.
has an entrance or to get right out to that spot.
This is so cool, man.
He's a very smart survivalist
My pants
type.
are getting tighter.
But that bell ringing reveals that Whitney is there, and she's alive, and she's Jason's captive. Because as soon as she hears that bell ringing, she starts screaming for help.
Yeah,
She's been there a month.
I know. It's over a month. Over a month.
So we know now it's a huge series of tunnels underneath the camp that
Yeah,
Jason uses to get around.
Yeah, it's rad. I think that's, and again, I think that's smart. You know, he's been there for a while. Great, you know, alone. You know,
He comes into the tunnels. He comes lumbering past Whitney and throws that backpack down near her and keeps on going with the body. Does he eat the bodies? Do you think? Does he eat the dead bodies?
he has to eat something. So
Is
I'm
that
gonna
how
say
Jason-
yes.
But he's such a good shot with the arrow. You think he could just hunt deer or something?
Yeah, maybe that's good too. But why not both?
I suppose.
Why not be eatable?
Eat whatever.
Yeah, eat whatever.
Yeah,
you know, like, so I'm pan biteable.
Okay.
Pan. There's a joke there with putting something in the pan and being.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
We'll insert a joke later.
Yeah.
So we'll
Here.
workshop it and see if it works. She manages to get the backpack and find the GPS unit, and she breaks it apart.
She
trying
also
to get,
wait.
she finds a flyer.
Yeah, that's the most.
She
fucking
finds the
important.
flyer, and she's like, "Oh, Clay's looking for me."
Yeah, I mean that's big for her.
Gives her hope,
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
that's why she decides what you're saying.
But she gets that GPS unit apart to get like a fine little piece of metal or something that she can pick the locks in on her shackles.
But before she can do it, Jason grabs her.
He's so quiet.
Yeah, he wears those little ninja shoes.
He can appear so quickly and quietly.
Yeah, he doesn't wear shoes.
He gets right up in her face.
Yeah, and she's like thinking she's gonna die, but
She has
I
that
love
locket.
the jerk of his head, like when she goes Jason, and he's like kind of looks at like, I think that's so good.
Yeah.
You know, now that I'm a world famous writer director, I really
Cinephile.
but I mean, just like when she says Jason, like he just jerks his face because he's kind of starting to look at her again as a mother.
Well, she looks a lot like his mom.
Yeah.
In the locket.
But
And he's probably not all with it mentally.
He dismisses it. I mean, just think about like living there like Jason and having all that time to build the tunnels. I mean, there's only so much you can do. You can only masturbate so many times a day. So like Jason is like, well, what else do? I can put my energy to building some tunnels.
Yep.
I like that a lot, Andy.
So he goes to pursue the others.
Masturbation, not building the tunnels.
I understand.
Okay, thanks.
He goes to pursue the others. Back at Trent's cabin, Chewie and Lawrence are watching Bree dance seductively while she drinks a bottle of booze.
Yep.
Trent is looking out the window all surly, probably wondering where Jenna is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's just like, meh, she went off with that guy, and I like her. Meh. Chewie lights up what I can only assume is Bacardi 151 because it can light on fire. And back in 2009, that's totally something that was probably popular.
Totally.
I'm sure it still is. But he lights up the shot, and Lawrence convinces him, go talk to Bree. You know, and Bree does the old, like, do you know how to take that shot? First you blow on it, then you suck. And he blows out the fiery fire shot, and when he puts it to his lips, it burns his lips. And he ends up, stumbling over a chair and breaking it.
Fucking, Trent's freaking out.
Trent's like, that was my dad's favorite chair,
Yeah, because it's like, but I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on Trent for going holy shit because if Trent's anything like his dad's a dick.
True, his dad probably beats him.
So. Well, not anymore. He's probably 21, 22. I mean, I don't know.
He might still.
But so he scoots.
Chewie's like, I'll go fix it.
Yeah,
I'll fix it.
He's like, they don't call me Woodman just because I masturbate a lot.
Right.
Or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. Real quick though, as a bartender back in the 90s and early 2000s, there was a shot B52, Kahlua Bailey's, and you topped it with 151 and lit it.
And you lit it. That's the way it was done.
Yep. Again, what's his face turns up. Chewie takes off.
Yep.
And
he's gonna go to the tool shed.
Yeah, and so this is.
And Bree takes Trent into the other room to calm him down. Probably.
Yeah, to calm him down up to the bedroom. So Lawrence is left by himself in the living room. I want to go ahead and say this is a stereotypical scene where Chewie's in the tool shed. What we're used to seeing in many of these movies, Andy's. It's just a bunch of looking around, talking to yourself as you discover shit with stupid one-liners.
Yeah.
As you wait for the person to die.
Yeah.
Like that's all he's doing. He's just,
I think he finds like a cabinet full of really high-end whiskey, and he takes a swig out of the bottle and says, "That's your payment for being such a douche." And meanwhile, Bree and Trent are getting it on in the bedroom.
Yeah, there is so much to say here. Trent is really excited as Bree takes off of her top and her bra. He is really excited about her pubes.
Oh, he says they're stupendous.
Yes,
perfect nipple placement.
Yes, he's like, I mean, anything. It's a great scene.
She's like, you really know how to treat a girl.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I guess if someone said, "Nick, you have nice balls," I'd be like, "Thank you." I'd be so excited.
I'd be so flattered.
Yeah.
Right. So
this is an interesting scene for me, Andy. Lawrence is downstairs, and instead of going to a bathroom or to another bedroom in an open living room, he decides to pleasure himself.
Yeah, he grabs like a magazine and finds just
a woman wearing a sweater.
And he's like,
"That's a woman wearing a turtleneck.
That's gonna have to do." And he even says, "Lady, I'm gonna ruin your day."
I know, but I mean, it's like. Okay, this is just real quick. Like, I'm not saying like when we went to your bachelor party, like no one pleasured themselves. I don't care, but no one would have done it in the living room.
No,
I think someone would have gone to the bathroom.
My bachelor party was in a cabin. It was like 13 guys. We were all drinking and playing poker and hanging out. Yeah, you're right.
I was there.
I know, but the listeners weren't. So that's why I needed to say that.
Would it have freaked you out, like if you'd walked in and found someone masturbating in the living room?
A little. I would have been like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't being like weird for this. But
no, Lawrence can't quite get to it before Clay and Jenna come busting in.
There you go.
Freaking out. They're like, "Someone's out there. There's a killer out there. He had a body," and they end up calling 911 and try to get everyone together. But they're like, "Where are Trent and Bree? Where's Nolan and Chelsea?" Lawrence is like, "Chelsea and Nolan have been gone for a while. Chewie's out in the tool shed, and Trent and Bree are in the other room."
Yeah, so it's like boobies. They call the cops, but you got to remember, Andy, this is just a one cop county, so it's probably going to take a while. And Trent and Bree, they cut back to Trent and Bree, and they're continuing their thing. And this is when I kind of say, like, Jenna, if they were dating, would be really pissed. But she's like, just come on. They're like, hold on. Like, they're not trying to cover it up that they're penis and vaginas.
Yeah, and Jenna's just like, she's over it.
Yeah,
she doesn't care.
Yeah, she's like, dude,
there's a guy out there killing.
There you go.
Let's go. And Jason is watching. Jason can see Bree and Trent from outside.
I'll be watching too. I mean, I hope I don't come off as a creep on this podcast.
I hope not.
Anyway,
Meanwhile,
Jason watches Trent as he heavily breathes on the window. But we go back to Chewie.
Chewie back in the tool shed.
Sorry, let's go back to Chewie.
He just breaks some shit with a hockey stick that he found, and as he's trying to clean up, Jason's there
Yeah, and he's
and
like,
kills him.
Yeah, he's like, did you drop this? It would fit the attire.
Yeah. You get a hockey mask. Here's a hockey
He
stick.
gets one last. He gets one last joke in before he's gutted in the chin.
He gets killed, and the next thing we know, the lights all go out in the cabin. So Trent and Bree come out of the bedroom. Trent, again, is a huge jackass to Clay. What the fuck's he doing here? Get the fuck out of here. Tell you what, Jenna, you leave too. Jenna's like, there's a bigger thing here, man, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jody brought up a good point about this. This is a family cabin. So, and Jason's been there. So this whole time, people are probably visiting this cabin, and probably, I mean, if you go to a cabin, you're going to go walk around the woods. Mm-hmm. Like, how come there's been no other incident of saying, you know, like, spotting a fucking Yeti or Bigfoot?
That was my question about the guy growing weed.
Yeah.
You know, if it was a wood chipper guy who grew it, how come he hasn't been killed before?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, again, I try to go back to saying don't fuck with him, but someone's had to trip a wire or notice that wire. It's
so weird.
It is weird. But I just kind of want to bring that up because when she said that, I was like, you know, that's a good point.
It's almost as if they were like, we're going to be making a movie about it, so Jason, you better start killing these people.
He just wants to do his own thing off the grid.
But, you know, come on, Trent. You don't get it. You know, Trent's all mad that Jenna's been gone for 8 hours, fucking all over the woods.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand, man. Chelsea and Nolan have been gone. They haven't come back. We saw this guy. He had a dead body, blah, blah, blah. Lawrence grabs, like a bat or something, and just
Like a pan,
a frying pan,
like
and one over his arm is a shield,
Yeah, so-
and like a knife, and he's like, I'm going after my boy, Chewie.
Yeah.
They're like, Lawrence, don't go. You know, and he's like, I'm slippery. You know, don't worry about me.
Yeah, it's a long, drawn-out scene of him walking to the tool shed, looking into the tool shed, finally walking through the tool shed, and he discovers bloody drops and broken glass,
Right.
and then suddenly bodies fall from the ceiling,
Yeah.
and that's when Jason appears in front of Lawrence.
And Lawrence ends up slipping
Yep.
away.
I wrote that.
Yeah. He makes a break for it. He runs out of the tool shed, and Jason has an axe, and he's just not fast enough to catch Lawrence, but he is accurate enough to throw the axe like you're at one of these axe throwing bars,
Yeah.
and it right into Lawrence's spine.
What would you expect, though,
What?
after he shot the fucking arrow and hit Nolan?
It was
in the-
awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, exactly. In the dark with a
Yes.
hockey mask on, he's able to fucking whip this axe, and it hits Lawrence's spine, so he can't run. He falls down on a pile of wood.
This is sad to me.
Lawrence starts screaming, "Help me, help me!"
No one helps him.
And inside the house, they can hear it. You know, Bree gets down on her hands and knees and puts her hands over her ears. Clay explains, like, your buddy is bait. We can't go out there. Jenna's like, someone's got to help him. It ends up, Jason waits long enough, picks up Lawrence, turns him around, and thrusts him down on the ground so the axe, like, flies through, comes up through his chest, and Lawrence is dead. And that is my Dick Kill Shot of the Week.
Yes.
Dick Kill Shot of the Week.
Dick shot. Kill of the
Dick
week.
Shot Kill of the Week. Because, man, like, the axe had already injured him, and then he turned him around, and instead of forcing the axe through, he forces the body onto the axe.
and it's like it's so true. And you know, like your last moments of life are seeing your friends not come rescue you.
Yeah, you're looking at this
feel
freak
like
in a
if you-
hockey mask.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good kill. This is like, I think, one of the first episodes where, I mean, I know we talk about it, but even
Oh, you didn't know it was mine?
I did not
I
know
thought
this
I
was-
pointed to myself.
no,
It's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. So yes,
Trent goes off to find his gun.
yep, and the cabin goes dark.
Yeah.
Silent. Jason is nimble because he's a survivalist, so he's jaunting like a ninja on
Jumping around.
on the roof.
He gets into the top floor of the house.
Yeah. So free, alone in a room, barefoot. Bree thinks to hide in the shower, but as she's looking to get into the shower, Jason appears behind her, puts his hand around her mouth. I just imagine how gross that hand smells.
Probably smells bad. Yeah.
You know, and then he picks her up, and much like Punish,
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
yep, he takes her and pierces her against an antler.
Yeah. Antlers that are on the wall, I guess doubling as a hanger of
Yeah,
some sort.
they're small antlers, maybe from
Yeah.
a small buck.
Probably hang your towel on that.
Yeah.
In the bathroom.
But, that is how Bree.
Yeah.
So her and her boobies are no longer. And then
Just like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
yeah,
So we're down to Clay.
'cause she was topless too.
Yes. We're down to Clay, Trent, and Jenna.
Yep.
That's it. My next note, Nick, says Officer Douche pulls up.
Officer Douche pulls up, and Officer One Cop Town.
Yep.
he's like, I'm here. So
Knocks on the front door.
everyone's excited to open the door and
Thank
welcome
God.
in the officer. But
Police are here. He's gonna save us.
yeah, but Jason, remember, he's a hell of a bow and arrow archery student. He
Yeah.
has a bow on him. Isn't it a bow?
Yeah, an
Is it-
arrow.
Yeah, arrow. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's an arrow. He just drops down from above behind the cop and
Yeah, he's
thrusts
I mean,
the arrow.
This is the most ninjiest fucking Jason.
Oh, it's
like,
great.
This is
He's like 6'7", probably 290 pounds, and he doesn't make a noise.
he dances like he's part of Beyonce's
Yeah.
entourage.
He does. What's that old movie? What that old like?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes. Oh man, we are. That's what it is. You got it. Let me write down that time code. 5830.
He can just
Crouching
he'd
Tiger,
crawl up.
Hidden
I
Dragon.
can't believe I got it.
Yeah, because he's just like poo 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 poo. He drops down behind the cop, and the cop turns around, and Jason thrusts the arrow through his eyeball, through the door, and it pops out inside the house.
Shows his strength that he can keep a arrow that I would think would break just going click, but he can get that thing through a head, a skull, a door.
Yeah, and the kids, of course, are like, holy shit, well, cop's not going to save us. And Jenna and Clay run upstairs where they find Trent with his gun, and they're like, the cop's dead. Oh, fuck, what do we do now? You have a gun? Oh, my God,
Let's
Trent.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. So he starts shooting it off like willy-nilly.
He's hearing noises,
Yeah.
shooting everywhere.
And so this is like, Jason's probably cracking up because he's playfully stalking our group.
Yeah.
Trent, Clay, and Jenna, like Andy mentioned.
Trent ends up shooting through the bathroom door because Bree's body fell down,
Yeah.
and he thought, boom, boom, boom. And he kind of cracks open the door, and he's like, oh, he killed Bree. Does Trent think that he killed Bree?
No.
He knows she's dead already.
Yeah, I think, you know, that.
So,
I didn't get that. I
No.
think, you know, that he knows that.
Well, they
she's
run
dead.
out to the police car. They can't find the keys. They can't get it going in time. Trent does one last, like, fuck this guy, Jenna. Let's go. Get in the car. And they can't get it started. And Trent takes off in one direction, and Jenna and Clay take off in another direction.
Yeah. Not before Jason playfully throws Bree's body right through the windshield. And
Yeah.
the Trent scream. It's like
Trent
a high
screams.
pitched squeal with a. I don't want to say, you know, like that trope, but it's like
Yeah.
he's a high pitched squeal that's reminiscent of a prepubescent child. Like Jody and I both cracked up when he screamed. He runs off through the woods. Trent does, and he trips around because it's night. He loses his gun. He's like, fuck it. He makes it to a road where a tow truck driver creepily waves him to approach. I thought that was odd. Like,
The driver stops.
yeah, and he
and
just
then
puts his hand down and says, waves, like, come here. Like, usually be like, hey, boy, what's going on?
why wouldn't he lean out and be
Yeah.
like, what are you doing out here?
I would like just go like, come here. So I thought something
weird.
was about to happen, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. Jason just appears, grabs Trent by his body,
Yep.
and stabs
Where
him.
else would he grab him by? I know.
Yes, yeah, that's a good point. Every
Grabs him
part
by
of your
his,
body.
by his spirit,
Yeah,
his essence. No, you're right.
Namaste, Jason.
He picks him
He
up
grabs him by his spirit.
and he stabs him again.
With crystals.
Throws him against some spikes that are on the back of the tow truck, the hook.
Yeah, the hook. And so the
The driver's like,
fuck
fuck!
this.
Takes off driving as Trent's dead body is on the truck.
Another honorable mention kill.
It's so cool.
It was a cool kill.
Because you
So
know that tow truck driver's gonna be like, yeah, damn it, I gotta clean this. I gotta get this off of my truck.
maybe some good eating.
So it's Clay and Jenna.
Yeah, for the rest of the movie, the last 15 minutes here, it sure is dark.
It's hard to see.
It's hard to see I don't know why Jen and Clay make their way back to the cabins.
They go back to Camp Crystal Lake. Yeah.
Why they ran back there, I have no idea.
I don't know either.
They're just creeping around, and Whitney hears them, and they hear faint screams of Whitney too.
Right.
They find the tunnels, Andy, and they make their way down below.
And they find Whitney.
Yay!
But as Clay has like a little mini pickaxe with him as a weapon, and he's trying to free his sister. That's when Jenna's like, I can hear him coming. He's coming. We got to get out of here. They get Whitney free. She must be a little weak in the legs at first because Clay's got to carry her. But they're twisting and turning, trying to find a way out. Jason's closing in on them. Twisting, turning, yada, yada. They find something. Clay's like, let's get out this way.
Yep.
He sends Whitney through first. Clay goes through, and as he turns around to help Jenna, as she's coming through, a machete comes right through her torso.
That freaked me out.
I did not see that coming.
I did not
I
either.
thought Jenna was going to escape,
I did too.
which is cool. A movie like this that's willing to do that.
Yes,
you're like,
I
you
agree.
think she's going to be a final girl because she's been the sweet innocent one this whole time, and nope.
She's
Dead
dead.
toes.
That one kind of took me out too, but
There can only be one final girl.
good job, Clay, getting her dead. You know, she
Right.
just wanted to hang out with you, maybe play
So-
with your hair and touch your butt, but then you have to get her killed. Whitney and Clay run out as the camp catches fire.
Yeah, they knock over a lamp or something and start
Yeah.
the whole tunnel on fire. They
It's
they
just-
find their way up and out.
Yeah, there's tunnels. You know, there's all kinds of fighting. Jason is on the prowl. He is looking for, you know, his only focus is to get Whitney back. Gets his grips on her, but she escapes. But they finally make it to ground level where I guess it's the tunnel led to a turned over on its side school bus.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's another thing people would talk about. Let's go to the old school bus when we go to Trent's dad's place.
Well, they managed to get all the way up out onto the surface
you
again.
go.
They're out of the tunnels,
Thunderstorm.
and it's now thundering and lightning, and there's raining. And they get to that old barn where
Yep.
the wood chipper is.
Yep.
Thank God for the wood chipper.
Thank goodness.
Clay at this point realizes he's gonna have to defend them. You know, they're not gonna get away. He's gonna have to probably fight. He sends Whitney to like run hide over there, and I'm gonna just try to find a weapon. He ends up finding like a little hand scythe, and he's standing against a window as our boy Jason busts through the window.
Yeah, this is drama.
Bear hugs Clay. They struggle. They
There
end
you
up
go.
jumping around, you know, kicking, pushing each other. It looks like in the struggle, the wood chipper gets turned on. Yay! Surprise, surprise! What a terrible safety mechanism.
I know.
You just bump against it and it turns on. As an insurance person,
Well, it was made like in 1996.
yeah, but still, like if you, I stumbled against it and it turned on, like that's a horrible safety mechanism. There needs to be like a lock and something that you have to release before
yeah,
it can
no,
turn
I
on.
dig it. I dig it. I think
Anyway.
it's. I mean, Clay almost French kisses the blades. I mean, Jason gets him
Jason
close.
gets
but
him real close, and Whitney ends up distracting him. Jason,
with the locket.
with the locket, he throws Clay to the ground,
Yeah,
and she
he's-
slowly approaches and says, "It's okay. You can stop now." And Clay manages to hit him on the shoulder with like another little bear trap.
Yeah.
And Whitney, I think, wraps a chain around his neck, and she throws the other end of the chain into the wood chipper. So now it starts pulling Jason. But the chain's up around a beam, and as it pulls, it hangs Jason up.
Yeah.
And he's hanging there, struggling
For a little bit.
for a little bit until the beam breaks.
Yeah.
Because he's a big, beefy dude.
Yes, he is.
Well, he gets up and he lunges at Whitney and Clay, but the other end of the chain is still in the wood chipper,
Yep.
and it stops him and it starts pulling him back towards the wood chipper. We think Jason's head's going to go right into it, but that's not what happens. Whitney picks up his machete and says, "Say hi to mommy in hell," and stabs Jason. He doesn't go all the way into the wood chipper, but I think like the top of his head's
Yeah.
getting hit with the
The budget must have run dry.
yeah.
on
So it looks like he's dead, and
They
we
do.
sort of
It's the next morning.
fade to next morning.
Clay dumps Jason's body back where it belongs in Camp Crystal Lake. I have no idea why they decided to do this.
It's weird. They're on the dock. Yeah.
Alongside with the locket and the hockey mask in the water. I would think I would have kept if I would have claimed like I'm keeping the hockey mask for it. It's even here.
A trophy.
And it's just weird because the pier, when they drop this in, you think a pier is probably built like in 2 feet of water, but it sinks down like 8
It's
feet.
like
of
40 feet.
Yeah, 40 feet. As they sit on the pier, Jason jumps through the pier wearing his hockey mask. Again, I guess he puts it on.
Like he's grabbing Whitney.
Grabby Whitney and pulls her down. Credits.
Cut to black, roll credits.
Yes.
That's that.
That's that.
I fast forwarded. There's no post credits. That's it.
On a scale of 1 Will Afford album to 13 Will Afford albums,
Ooh, wow.
what would you say?
I'm going to give it like maybe a solid 10 or 11.
I'm going to give it 10 Will Afford albums.
Because 1 to 13 is a big scale, and I liked it. A lot
Yeah,
of positive things
I
here.
thought- I say 10's a good number. Did you know in Minnesota that there's a lake that a diver actually put a replica? You could look for it online.
Oh, really?
The Jason in the Minnesota lake. Could you imagine scuba diving and all
Holy
this?
shit.
Yeah, it's a full size Jason hanging on a rock with a chain.
Is it like a mannequin?
No,
Probably.
no, it's a real person.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, did he
a
have to get
mannequin.
did he have to get a permit?
To
Like,
put something down in the bottom
Yeah.
of the lake, I don't.
isn't it littering? I mean, does he have to like?
What if he just dropped it from the lake? Well, like if I lost my phone in the lake,
I
is that
suppose.
littering?
Yeah.
I dropped this full size Jason
I
figure
think
in a
the
rock.
authorities would be like, get that out of there.
After we're done recording, I think it'd be something cool to post on our social
Yeah,
media.
we'll
too.
look
I'll
it
do
up.
that. Hey, do you want to do?
Did you see though? Did you like the parallels here with Jason jumping up and pulling somebody down?
Yeah, it's-
just like 1980
Yeah.
version. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, of course.
So I wanted to like point that out.
Yeah, but there are answers when you go to the second one.
So there's a second one after this, not the second one from 1980.
No, not a second one to this. No, there's
Yeah,
a
that's
second,
what I mean. We
Yeah,
have two timelines here.
but that's what I mean, though. But I mean, I'm going to assume that it would kind of wind up like Friday the 13th Part 2.
Part 2.
1981, I believe that one.
Okay. So there isn't a Friday the 13th Part 2 modern remake?
No.
There isn't. Got it.
Not like, because I mean, Rob Zombie did Halloween and Halloween 2. And Halloween
Thank you
2
for
is shit.
educating me on the canon, the lore of Friday the 13th. Kill
I'm
count.
telling you, we're gonna do 2 through 10 because we already did 1 and 11.
We should sprinkle them in.
We did 1 and 11, but
Yeah.
we're getting into Christmas and fall season, so I
Yeah.
think that's gonna have to be something around Shark Week. So anyway,
Yeah.
let's get into that.
Kill count.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. Sorry, let's get into that. Kill count.
All right. Counting the kills. Do you want to count Mrs. Voorhees?
No.
All right. It was a flashback. We saw her die. All right. We won't count her then. Fuck that
I
bitch.
mean, yeah. Let's 1.
Wade, our boy Wade, just saying motor in, and he found the weed and he died. Amanda, your dick shot kill of the week, burned to death in a sleeping bag, followed by poor Mike, who was stabbed through the floor and just pulled eventually through the floor. Richie, caught in the bear trap, machete to the head. Nolan, I mean, we fast forward to modern times. Nolan driving that speedboat and took an arrow to the head. I would have been a warrior, but I took an arrow to the head. And then Chelsea, topless wakeboarding.
Topless wakeboarding.
Underneath the dock, and
Willa Ford.
yeah, so she did. Followed by our guy, Comic Relief Chewy, looking for tools in the tool shed.
Exactly.
He got killed. And then his friend Lawrence came after him. That's my dick shot kill of the week. Who's first axed in the back, and then Jason flipped him up and shoved his body down further onto the axe. Officer douchebag.
Butt-butt, yeah.
Officer putt-putt.
Butt.
Arrow through the eye. Trent and his girly little scream, ah! And then shoved onto the hook of a tow truck and driven away back into town. And then Jenna, that we didn't see coming.
Not see coming.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if we count Mrs. Voorhees.
And we should.
We're not counting Jason because everyone knows
He's not dead.
he's not dead, and you saw him pop up at the very end. So
You know, it's funny that one was 2009 because I think it brings us up to the next movie. Actually, there is no good segue in. I'm going to go ahead and get into it real quick. I know we're running a little late.
that's a good segue.
The movie that we're going to do next is one that Jody and I watched just on our own. She found it, and I was like, yeah, let's watch it. I thought it was so interesting and intriguing that I texted Andy and said, Andy,
Let's try to watch this.
Let's try to watch this. So from 2012, really quick one, Andy, 1 hour, 20 minutes, we're going to watch
Creep Van.
Creep Van.
Nick likes a rad van.
Yes. Hey, that's a good
So-
segue, too.
A 20-something slacker gets caught up in a deadly game of cat and mouse after answering a for sale sign placed on a dilapidated van.
We are going to have so much fun with this one.
It's on Freevee, Prime Video, Tubi, Plex, Roku channel, Prime Video for $1.99. I'll probably watch it on Tubi. I watch most stuff on Tubi.
I implore all of our 5 listeners to watch this movie. It's
Creep
fun.
Van.
Yeah, do your homework, damn it.
So-
but that's all I got this week, Andy.
Yeah, no, that's about it. Follow us on Instagram, /U_podcast. Sorry, what?
Sorry for all the delays and stops for my mic stand and my dogs.
We got it under control.
Yes, we did.
/U_podcast on Insta. The Facebook page is coming along nicely. We get a lot of people commenting there too. Facebook.com//U podcast. Email us /UPodcast@gmail.com, and you can also check out. I guess Nick left the Zoom call. Check out the.
Oh shit! I keep
It's
forgetting.
all right.
I keep forgetting.
Check out
I'm
the.
new to this.
Check out the website /UPodcast.com. Click the buy stuff links to help support the show.
Oh shit! That's funny.
And that's it. I don't have anything else.
I don't either.
Creep Van for next week. Until next time. Class dismissed.
Class dismissed.